All right, let's dive in. We're going to tackle a problem that, let's be honest, can ruin anyone's day. Your car just won't start. We're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how the pros handle this, because they don't just guess, they have an official playbook.
You know that feeling, right? That sinking feeling in your stomach. You turn the key, and instead of the engine roaring to life, you get dead silence. Or, maybe even worse, that awful, frantic clicking sound that just screams, "You are not going anywhere today." It is just pure frustration.
But what happens in that moment is exactly what separates a pro from an amateur. A real expert doesn't just start poking around or, banging on things with a wrench hoping for the best. No, they follow a very specific, detailed procedure. There's a system here, and it's all written down.
In this, right here, is that playbook. It's called AURETR130. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but it's basically the Australian government's official standard for this exact job. Think of it as the ultimate troubleshooting guide, the one that makes sure nothing gets messed and the job gets done right every single time.
So, what does this professional approach actually look like on the ground? Well, this standard breaks the entire process down into 4 really distinct logical steps. It takes us all the way from the initial prep to the final finished paperwork.
So, let's start with step 1. And this might actually surprise you. It's all about preparation. For a professional, the real work begins long before they even touch the car. This is the crucial setup phase where they lay the entire foundation for a successful repair. First, they figure out exactly what the job requires. Then, they go straight to the source, the manufacturer's procedures, to map out a diagnostic strategy. And this next part is absolutely critical. They assess all the potential hazards, like high current wiring, and put safety measures in place. It's only after all of that that they grab their tools and make sure every single one is in perfect working order.
And look, this isn't just about ticking boxes or paperwork. This kind of structured planning is what prevents costly mistakes. It makes sure the right tests are done in the right order with the right tools. It saves time, and it guarantees safety right from the get-go. It's the difference between having a calculated strategy and just, winging it and hoping for the best.
Okay, next up is the real detective work, the diagnosis. This is where the technician becomes an investigator, systematically hunting for the root cause of why that car is stubbornly refusing to start. So, following that plan they just made, they start running a series of specific tests. Then they analyze the results. They're looking at things like voltage, resistance, current, to pinpoint the exact cause. It's really just a logical process of elimination. Once they found the culprit, they confirm it and then put together a clear recommendation for the repair.
This here gives you a little peek inside a technician's brain. The standard requires them to check specific areas. Are we looking at the main starter motor circuit, maybe with a worn-out solenoid? Or is it the control circuit with something as simple as a loose connector? Or maybe the high current circuit from the battery has too much resistance. Each area has its usual suspects, and the tests are designed to find them.
And believe me, their toolkit goes way beyond just a simple wrench. We're talking about sophisticated stuff. There's load testing, which is basically a stress test for the entire electrical circuit. They do incredibly precise voltage drop checks, hunting for even the tiniest bit of lost electricity. They might even use a specialized tool called a growler to find invisible faults deep inside the starter motor itself. And of course, they plug right into the car's computer to read trouble codes and analyze live data, essentially asking the car to tell them what's wrong.
So once the what and the why are totally confirmed, it's time to move into the action phase, the repair. And just like the diagnosis, this is done with absolute, uncompromising precision. And again, it starts with prep, getting the right info, the right tools, the right parts. The repair itself is then carried out strictly according to what the manufacturer specifies. And here's the key. After the new part is in, they do post-repair tests to prove that the fault is actually gone. A pro never just assumes it's fixed. They verify it. You see this exact phrase woven throughout the official standard, and it really gets to the core principle here. Every single action, every turn of the wrench has to line up with procedures, specs, and safety rules. There are absolutely no shortcuts in professional auto repair. The rulebook is everything.
So the car starts. The job is done, right? Well, not for a true professional. This final step is what really separates the experts from everyone else. It's about ensuring a totally complete and thorough job.
They'll do a final inspection of the entire vehicle just to make sure everything is perfect. They clean up their work area, getting rid of old parts and recycling materials based on environmental regulations. And finally, They complete all the documentation, creating a detailed record of the fault, the diagnosis, and the fix. This whole process really shows you that a great technician isn't just good with their hands. The standard actually calls out these foundation skills. You need serious reading skills to understand complex wiring diagrams, numeracy skills to calculate electrical measurements. You have to be tech-savvy to use all the diagnostic scanners and have great planning skills to manage it all efficiently.
So, the next time your car won't start and a pro brings it back to life, just remember this. You're not just paying for a quick fix. You're paying for a disciplined process, a deep well of knowledge, and a systematic application of skill that turns a massively frustrating problem into a reliable solution.
And that kind of leaves us with a fascinating thought, doesn't it? This playbook is already adapting to things like live data and digital trouble codes. But as cars become more and more like computers on wheels, is the mechanic of the future going to need to be more of a coder than a wrench turner? It's a little glimpse into how this incredible profession is just going to keep on evolving.